So within the last 2 weeks, major headlines in the presidential race. It all started with the images everywhere of the attempted assassination of former President Trump. Then, just over the weekend, the President Biden announced he's not seeking re-election. Big headlines that our children are seeing, and if not seeing, they're hearing about. So they're going to come with you with conversations, and that's why we thought this would be a good time to talk about this.
Perfect time. The answer, we want to bring in our parenting expert and psychologist, Dr. Sheryl Ziegler. So you say the first place is to start with empathy, and I feel like you always say that, but I remember watching the assassination attempt. My 4-year-old is right there, and she's like, "Mommy, is that blood?" And I'm like, I don't know how to answer that question.
100%.
Right. Yeah. I think we have to. The first thing I want to say is for every parent having a conversation, good for you. Because there's also lots of people who are like, I don't want to turn the channels, change the conversation. But I think this is just too big. There's just too much. Like, unless we're talking a young toddler or baby, we're really talking about history. So this is something to talk about. Number one, just talk about it. But number two, I think it's really important when I say empathy, there's certain things that sound so simple, but people have different political views, obviously. And so, but this was a human being, right? And so the empathy is to say, no matter what we think, no matter what our politics, violence is never the answer. And this is wrong. Right? And we care, no matter what, no matter who it is. These are things we all need to open up our hearts and care about. So I think it's really important to A, have the conversation, and B, make sure there's a lot of empathy and humanizing that goes on.
Because no matter how you shield your kid, that's funny, because I was with some young kids, the same thing that night, and they said, "Is that an owie?" That image is going to be played again and again.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess my question is, as a parent, then, are you supposed to say, well, there are bad people in the world, or bad things happen? Do you even go there? Do you say some people don't agree and that's why this happens? I mean, that feels like a lot.
It does feel like a lot, and it depends on the age of your kids, and not just the chronological age, but kind of the emotional age too, right? There might be an 8-year-old where, hey, we talk about politics and history all the time, so this would be natural, and there might be other families where they don't do that. So again, you know your kid, but one of the things you might not know is just how much exposure they have.
Yeah.
So I think any of the things you just pretended to say are actually fine. Yes, there are bad people in the world. I also, for my own kids, I said, this is the first time in 40 years that this has gotten this close. I kept using that, to try to make the point.
Doesn't happen that often.
Doesn't happen that often. This is very scary. And so they got that sense of this really is history. And so I think that can be, something that you say. And of course, there's a mental health angle, of course. Anybody, who has the thought of I'm going to kill somebody, there's a mental health issue. So I think and then, some people are like, well, we need to talk about guns again. Whatever comes up in your family, just talk about it. Make sure that you're leading the conversation. Make sure you're limiting the time your kid might be looking into this. Because this is one that I will say, having teenagers, there's a lot of memes, there's a lot of things on social media about this.
The social media part is
It was huge. Like in the beginning, even I thought, no, I think that blood was, I really did think it was from falling. And it was my daughter who was like, no, it says right here on TikTok, this is what happens. It was it was that reminder of yes, social media. So don't think that because your teenager doesn't sit and watch the TV, they're getting all their news on social media. So they're seeing this, and it is helpful to talk, even with a teenager who maybe doesn't even seem like they care or they're too invested. They're seeing this image and a lot of jokes or things about it. And so I think it's important to talk about.
And before you go, do you have to circle back? Is it enough to have that initial conversation and be like, okay, you get it? Or do we need to revisit, see how you're feeling about it?
I think there's so much going on right now. It's easy to revisit the kind of conversation, right? He's already done, ex-President Trump has already done a rally. He had the bandage on. And you can say, he's going to be okay. Thank God he's going to be okay. Nothing happened, right? That's one part. Now we've got a new potential, running presidential candidate. So you just move it along because this is what's happening. But I just think that what parents really have to hear is that I'm not just talking about teens, even a 10-year-old. If you're anywhere online in any capacity, kids are being exposed to these images and they're hearing things, and you want to be the one to lead this conversation with compassion and empathy and honesty. That's developmentally appropriate.
We're going to need you back because it's only July.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
It's been a lot. It feels like
That's
it's been
great.
a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Ziegler. Thank you.
Thanks.